There are stories that connect us to ourselves and to each other. These stories reveal who we are and show us the many vivid colors of our truth. Welcome to Soul Wanderings, where we raise spiritual awareness and foster connections through these shared stories and personal experiences. Now, exclusively on KGRA Digital Broadcasting, your hosts, AJ and Natalie.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday.
Hello.
I'm AJ.
I'm Natalie.
And we're your hosts of Soul Wanderings. And it is Wednesday, Soul Wanderings night.
I get to wander with you.
I get to wander with you and all of our beautiful listeners. I'm so excited. Last week was so wonky.
Well, it is different when we don't have a show.
I don't like not having a show. Let's just say that. I don't like it.
For
I
the
don't
record.
like it at all. I received an influx of messages. Why aren't you having a show? And I just have to apologize in advance. I had no idea anyone wanted a show the night before Thanksgiving. I assumed, because I've been doing this for so long and off of memory and notes from the years past, that, you know, people are busy the night before Thanksgiving getting things done. And so.
And people let you know that they would have been busy listening to us and getting things done.
Yeah. So
I just love to. Isn't it nice to get the whole
my
feedback
apologies
that says, what?
I made note in
Next
my
year?
book for next year. Don't do that.
Wednesday night before Thanksgiving?
Well, when we had a different producer, it was like, no, we don't do shows the night before Thanksgiving. We do pre-records. And I think I just got into that mindset, but we have this producer and she's like, have a show.
Right.
And I was like, nah, I don't think anyone will listen. So we just didn't plan on a show. But I'm really happy that we're back. How was your Thanksgiving?
You know, it was good. I have done Thanksgiving, cooked the full meal, been at other people cooking the full meal, and where I went this Thanksgiving, no one there had ever carved a turkey.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
It blows my mind, but I was like, oh, I've carved a turkey. So I carved the turkey, they were all happy about that. Separate the darks and the lights. And then there was this one, my fondness for cats. There's this outdoor tomcat who's called
Tomcat.
Thomas. Of course, they call him Thomas. And he came waltzing in the house, and he's this big fluffy black cat with a big head, fluffy. And they were feeding him turkey, and that was like he was so like, I'm the center of attention.
He's like, turkey for me?
So their cats got turkey for Thanksgiving, but it was good.
Good.
It was lovely.
Spoiled
cats. Oh yeah, there we go. Spoiled cats. How about your Thanksgiving?
It was a very quiet Thanksgiving this year.
Sometimes so quiet Thanksgiving is a blessing.
Yeah. I mean, I love Thanksgiving, not what it stands for or what it symbolizes. I'm not a big fan of the history of Thanksgiving, but I love the idea of getting friends and family together to just be. Right. And then you have the season of gratitude where you get to be grateful and thankful. And I love those types of energies. I think that feels really just quite lovely. When I'm not doing anything with friends and family, I get kind of sad. Like it doesn't feel good. And so this year, when things did not turn out the way that I had hoped that they would, I had a really beautiful lesson in letting go and not having expectations of how it should look like, right?
I've had some like that too.
Yeah, and it was beautiful in its own way because of that. It was a very quiet day. And honestly, I spent a lot of time in bed. I was relaxed. I was like, I guess it's just a movie jammy day, and it was good. So I'll do Thanksgiving at Christmas. Yeah, but
Yes, I'm sure you will at Christmas.
yeah, and I think things are just different right now anyway because I have a big holiday coming up. I mean, we all have Christmas coming up, but Christmas is not my favorite time of the year this year. I will definitely have a different vibe about it and begin new traditions, and I'm just really excited about that.
We just ultimately it's important to roll with what happens.
Yeah, all you can do is all you can do.
That's true.
And your mind is such a powerful tool. It's how you perceive and receive, and when you do let go of those
Expectations.
what
like that
coulda,
kind of
shoulda,
thing.
woulda, coulda, shoulda, whatevers, it really is so freeing.
Oh, I've had lots of different because I've kind of my big birth family lives in another state, and I don't travel there, and so I've had lots of different ways of Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
Friends' house and other people's house, adopted into these families for a few
Yeah.
years. Small groups, big groups, little ones, simple. I don't know, maybe one time I did it kind of solo. But it's
And I am the one that most of the time is cooking because you know me. I love to cook and
You
I love
do.
to have friends over and I love to feed them and we just eat, drink and be merry. Like it's my favorite thing, even just on the weekend.
friends
Like let's just do this.
Friendsgiving.
Yeah, all the time. Like that's just one of my favorite things ever to do. And so I feel like next year will be different and even if it's like not on Thanksgiving, I will make more of an effort. I've just been really absent this year in life. I've been going
I don't know if absence an accurate description of what you've been going through.
I've been going through so much.
Give
And so
yourself some grace.
there are things that I've just had to not put energy into.
Yeah.
And that's just the way that it goes. And I'm good with all of it. This is one thing I've learned this year, which has
Yes.
been so cool, is whatever will be, right?
Right.
And I know that concept. I get it. I hear it and I'm like, yeah, okay. Right.
Moving
But you
on.
got to put some effort into this and do that. And it's just, I've learned that I really am good at wanting things to look and be a certain way or have some control of the outcome. And I've really learned to let that go and just be like, whatever happens, happens. And I really am okay with it, which is the part that I've learned is that I'm really okay with it. Like I really am. I'm just like,
all
whatever.
those years of stress, these big events often build up a lot of stress in people. Stressing to someone in one of my groups said, I tried to get my wife to stop, but say, you don't need to stress over this. And she he said, I could never talk her out of it. And then she would be happy once it was done. But there was a lot of stress building up to preparing that big meal and having everything on time. And
and see, I've let all that stuff go. I'm just like, F it. I don't care. I don't care. I really don't have the capacity to carry that with me anymore. Even with my home, like I like my home. I'm a little meticulous. I like things clean and orderly and everything has to smell good. And when you walk in, it has to look good and it has to feel good. But even that, like, I'm okay if there are shoes by the door now. It's okay. Like
I'm proud of you.
It's a big step. Like I've really learned to let a lot of things that really don't matter go. And I knew they never mattered, but they mattered to me. It brought me peace. But I have more peace in my life now.
Is it a different kind of peace?
Oh, yeah, it's probably more in its truest form than it was before. You know what I mean? And so I think that every year I hope we all learn something new or become a better version of ourselves. This year has really been a lot for me. And I think next year hopefully will be the outcome of what I've gone through this year. You know,
Of course it will.
the positives, the good stuff, the payoffs. Please, let's have some of those payoffs. Anyways, all of this evolving around Thanksgiving and it having not look and be a certain way. Life. It's grand.
It is so grand.
It's so beautiful. So I see all of our listeners are wonders piling into the chat room. I want to acknowledge all of them and say hello. Thank you for being here with us tonight. We have some news that I'll be sharing with you just to keep you guys in the loop. And then we have a 2-topic show tonight with myself and Natalie.
Yeah.
Natalie and I. We are going to be talking about I made a little error in the description and said post-traumatic healing. It is that, but we're focusing on post-traumatic growth.
Yes.
Which is the healing. But, potato, potato. I just want to make it clear we'll be talking about the growth. And then in the second hour, we decided to switch things up a little bit and talk about dream interpretation and symbology. And it's kind of crazy that we picked those 2 topics, one right after the other. When I was feeling on that, I was in my cold plunge this morning.
Yes.
And I've been staying in there for long periods of time now. So I just am really in deep thought and meditation. And I was thinking about my day ahead and how I was going to navigate all the things that had to be done today. And I let a lot go because you know what? It doesn't matter. And I was thinking about our topics tonight, post-traumatic growth and dream interpretation, and how much alike they actually are. We'll see how the show plays out. Natalie and I don't have pre-conversations before the conversation. This is all very organic. You get us in our cliff notes.
Ad lib.
Yeah.
Completely natural flow.
Absolutely. And that is what a wandering is. But I was thinking how they can be so connected.
Yeah.
It's just we can't make this stuff up. We did not plan it, but yet here we are.
Yes.
And I'm really excited about dreams because I spent many, many years studying dreams and interpretation because I thought one day I would be like a dream interpreter.
Maybe someday you will be.
Maybe it will be in my line. I have a lot of things I want to be when I grow up. Right? I want to be, I'm already certified in remote viewing, but I really want to get more into that and end of life and NDE stuff and then dreams. And I think it all just, and the aura readings and all of the things. And so I think it all just connects somehow. I'm just not sure how it braids together yet, but it will.
It will.
And I think it's really awesome. So the dreams I'm really excited to talk about because they do have so much symbology, in my opinion. And I get a lot of my intuitive messages through dreams. A lot of things that come through in my dreams will happen in real life. But also, have your dreams been so crazy lately? Have you been having a lot of dreams lately?
Yes, I've been having a lot of dreams, vivid dreams, but I don't know that I necessarily remember them all. But I know they're pretty vivid.
But you're having them.
Yes. Lots of dreaming.
And lots of people are. So I hear about people who say, I've never really had dreams. I don't dream or I don't remember my dreams. And it's opposite now. They're having more dreams. They're very vivid dreams and they're remembering details about the dreams. So second hour, that's what we'll be talking about. And I'm really excited. We'll even open up the phone lines if you care to share some dream that you want to share. Between Natalie and I, we have dream dictionaries with us.
We brought them
because, I don't know. I didn't count how many dream books I have, but I
Oh.
have a lot. There's
I thought
one that
about
I
counting,
keep.
but I did.
Yeah, there's one that I keep. This one's pretty beat up. It's been by my bedside or by my recliner for a hot minute. But then there's this other one that I've had and I haven't really like played with it. So
Oh,
if you have a dream, maybe we can look up some of the interpretations
we're
of,
down for whatever happens.
yeah, I mean, we could do a whole show about dreams, really.
Mhm.
However, it gets kind of boring sometimes when you and I just are like one topic for 2 hours. We want to keep you guys here with us
It's
tonight.
true. Plus, I thought it just felt good to do too.
Yeah,
Break it up. Keep it fresh.
I agree. I really agree. And I think that's really awesome that we're going to do that. Really quick though, before we move forward, and I have you guys here before you take off to go do all the things that you do when you're like, hey, I got to go clean and I got to go, I'm listening to you in the background. For the rest of our year, let's talk about what's going on so you guys are in the know. So, of course, Natalie and I are on tonight. We have a brand new guest next week. Then the week after, we have another brand new guest. However, he's located in Spain, so it will be a pre-record. But I will be with you on the live show in the chat room, as I like to do when we do pre-records, because if questions come up or just for the mere fact I get to hang out with you, we have some great conversations in chat during live shows that are pre-records. So I'll be hanging out with you then. So tonight and the next 2 weeks, brand new shows. And then I will be going out of the country for the holidays for a couple of weeks. And so we will not have live shows for the last 2 weeks of December. We will have replays during the holidays. And then when we come back in January, I will need a week to recuperate. I'll be getting back through the middle of the night from a Tuesday to a Wednesday on the 3rd. And so we won't have a show that night because I will be
Not ready to do a show.
I will be experiencing jet lag. Like last time, it was just a lot. And the next week we'll be catching up. So that'll be 4 weeks of no live soul wanderings, which makes me really sad to say out loud because I had a hard time last week missing out on 1 week. So we will have the next 2 weeks live shows, 4 weeks off, and then we will have live shows again beginning January 17th. Natalie and I will have a New Year's show together.
Yeah.
And then we will have brand new guests that are already lined up for you for the next several months, actually. So not just weeks. We have a wait list.
That's amazing. Look
So
how incredible
good.
you are.
We
are now, but I think about the times that you held down the fort for years.
I'm still holding down the fort. Now I just have a sidekick. You show up and hold down the fort on Wednesday nights. I'm
True.
still booking.
You do amazing work with all that.
I love it. It's so much fun. And I'm so grateful that we have you guys to hang out with us. And it really makes us want to just keep going. So that's what we'll do. Going into 2024.
It's going to be something. Oh my goodness. I listened to a few different people that talk about into the future, and it's like they say it's going to be something this 2024.
Yeah, it's also
Volatility
numerologically a number 4, which is my number. That's my jam.
Well, then that means it's going to be processing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. I think like worldwide and politically and in our own country, there's going to be a lot of things taking place next year.
Yeah.
And it's an election year.
Oh my. And this one is
really
going to be
crazy.
quite something to watch.
Yeah, it will be
already
fun.
Been something.
Let's just kick back with some popcorn and watch the show. Maria says Charles can be Natalie and she'll be AJ. They're going to take our place while we're gone. No one will know, she says. Let's do it. That would actually be really fun. I, I can just imagine. They actually, Charles and Maria have a great show. They're fun to watch. They have really great topics and conversation themselves. So I I think that would be really cool. I see a new listener in the chat room. Yay. Love that. Welcome, welcome. Just give a bunch of likes over here. You guys are awesome. Okay, cool. Thank you. Keep the chat going. We love it. If you are listening and want to be in on chat also, go over to KGRA Digital Broadcasting on Facebook or Rumble. You can also go to live.kgradb.com where you can watch and chat in the live chat room directly on the station. Looks like tonight most people are hanging out on the Book of Faces. Yep. Looks that way. And so any of those platforms are great. I hang out in all of them. I'm happy to be there with you. And let's move on, shall we?
Yeah.
Post-traumatic growth.
Wow.
We're going to have a break in like 3 minutes,
Right.
but let's get it going.
Let's just start this going. So I was going through this pile of papers, and I really like intellectual material, books and things. And there was this period of time where I had, so anyway, I came across this research article on post-traumatic growth. And I've learned about it in several of the different programs that I've taken. And I was like, oh, that is an amazing topic to bring up to people's awareness, that there is growth from the difficult traumatic experiences that we have in life. And really that cracks us open for expansion. And it's a different mindset, the ability to say that I'm going to grow from this difficult situation, this traumatic situation. Just that mindset can shift an orientation. And then in addition to that, when I work with people, and I've seen a lot of people, and I know you see it too, where people don't grow. They stay shrunken and shriveled because of trauma. And so there's a choice. It's really a choice to grow or stay victimized with trauma. And I'm just an advocate for growth. I just don't feel like people have to stay, you don't have to stay traumatized.
No.
There's no reason to lock yourself up and be imprisoned because something awful happened to you in life.
You know, people often will say after they've heard some of my experiences, or even just one.
Just one.
I've had some pretty intense moments. How are you so positive or optimistic, or how do you have this outlook on life after going through something like that? How can you be grateful for your experiences after something like that? And it's challenging to explain to people how that is so without them understanding their own process, if that makes sense. So post-traumatic growth is called PTG. It doesn't take away the fact that you may still also have PTSD or CPTSD or anything like that. You can still walk alongside the trauma and also have the growth.
Yes.
And I believe that there's a fine line, of course. You're either on one side or the other, or you're right on the line. And there are times that the trauma has come up for me where I'm more on the PTSD side than I am on the PTG side. But more times than not, I'm on the PTG side because I actively choose to be on that side. I literally am so grateful for the trauma in my life. And for me to say that and like truly mean it, like, what? That is so crazy. But I'm telling you, it is because of the things that I've experienced, that I am so strong, that I am so resilient, that I can go through hard things because nothing has been as hard as what I've already gone through.
Right.
And that is so freeing. That is so beautiful and amazing. And I love that for other people who were in that space. And if they're not, I love to help them get to that space. But anyway, I'm like clumping all these things I want to say all at once into 30 seconds because we need to take a break, but we still have a half an hour on this topic. So I'm going to shut it down for just a minute and we'll come right back. And then I'll slow down. I'll bring it down a couple notches. We'll be right back. Hi, Wanderers. Welcome back. This is Soul Wanderings on KGRA Digital Broadcasting, and I'm AJ.
I am Natalie.
And I just have to say, for the record, I have not had an energy drink today, which I'm normally sipping on one while I'm doing the show.
Right.
And I have noticed I am so pumped up since we started talking about trauma.
Must be the topic.
I'm like, yes, let's talk about some trauma. It's my
Growth.
jam.
Growth from trauma.
Okay. Yeah, not real actual trauma. Nobody really wants the trauma. I just feel like a badass that I've gone through what I've gone through.
You are a badass for.
And it took me a long time to get in this mental state to even believe that I was. And so, when you have a victory of some kind, you just have to find ways to celebrate it. But I do not want to take away from anyone else's experiences by any means.
Well, we do want to highly encourage if you do not realize, and you're listening to this, and you have not until this moment realized that you could grow because of the trauma, and the trauma is a catalyst, like rocket fuel sometimes, to move you to a different level. It's the cracking open of you. Then this information is for you to say there's growth that comes from those things.
Right. So,
and
go ahead.
Learning to accept that there are difficult, awful, horrific, this whole spectrum of things that happen to humans, and that humans doing things to other humans and various things. But these are all opportunities, can be opportunities,
right,
to grow, recover, heal.
Exactly. And okay, well, let's go back to trauma. Like, what even is trauma, right? Because trauma looks different for all kinds of people. Trauma can be like you're washing the dishes and you cut yourself with a knife. Trauma can be you're crossing the street and you almost get hit by a car.
Almost.
Trauma can be you got yelled at by your parent when you were a child. Trauma can be you got beaten almost to death. Trauma can be you got embarrassed in front of a class full of students when you were in school. Like, it can mean so many different things. There are so many different levels of trauma. There are people who are suffering from trauma from like being in the military. There are people who are suffering from trauma from, almost being killed. There are all kinds of trauma. So let's just put that out there. Everyone has a level of trauma. And as I've seen through the work that we've done and the clients that we have assisted, some people are affected by trauma as intensely as almost getting hit by a car as someone else who literally got hit by a car.
Yes.
And that's what gets confusing for me, but it's not for me to judge. It's just an understanding, because there are different levels of human beings and temperaments and experiences and all kinds of things that play into that part. So when we talk about trauma, we're not talking necessarily just about people who have been through like major life-altering experiences. Trauma shows up in all different ways. But the beautiful thing about trauma is that once you have an experience that is traumatic, you have an opportunity for deep growth. And that's where the magic happens. Go ahead. I know you have so much to say.
I don't know. There's so many threads to pull on.
Well, I just gave you a whole skein of yarn. Pull on one end or the other. Have at it, my friend.
It is so true. Well, there was this little hooky thing that as you're talking, and it's the people. I remember having with a client one time, and she was in a wreck, an accident. She turned left at a light, and a person came through the light late.
Those
and
left
hit her.
turns, man.
Oh yeah, left turns. And she was not seriously injured, seatbelt bruising, and she just was really pretty traumatized by the accident. And I remember one of the things I said, you're acting like you were horribly, horribly maimed or hurt in this accident.
Mm-hmm.
And the car and she had said, thankfully for the airbags and things, I said, but this technology of the car, the safety restraints in the car and the vehicle, she wasn't hurt that horribly, but you're acting like you were.
Mm-hmm.
There's times where in those, almost things, I was almost, where people feel like it actually did happen instead of almost.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to pull people back from the edge of the cliff and saying, hold the phone. You're acting like it did happen, and it didn't. I understand that was scary, the potential, but watch the mindset on that. And that's one thing. The growth of perspective can happen when you can realize that you're acting as if a thing happened that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you're putting so much energy into this where you need to, there's oftentimes we as people need to take a step back and say, wow, I'm acting like this was a super big deal when it was like a nothing burger.
A nothing burger. I like that. Okay. And I don't want to eat one of those.
Right.
Nope.
So it's like, okay. So I remember doing this. I might have said this on the show. It was after a trip a couple months back when I almost got rear-ended. And then I'm like, oh, and there's the catch your breath kind of thing. And then I'm like, okay, then we're going to just understand that I did not get hit. So let's stop acting like I did.
Yeah. But that also is a mindset of wanting to be in a space of trauma or victim mentality, I believe. And even on an unconscious level, I'm not saying that people necessarily want that, but some do.
Well, there are some times we know that there's some people, whether they want it consciously or not, people can often hold on to their dysfunction, their illness, their trauma, because somehow it serves them.
Right.
And so that's not a growth mindset.
Right.
So oftentimes people will not want to grow. They won't want to level up. And I suppose that's okay too.
Right. It is, but what we're talking about is post-traumatic growth, and that's the positive transformation that we experience after like a big life crisis.
So how does
trauma.
someone choose to grow?
Don't you just choose?
Well, did you just choose? How is it that you wandered on that? But yes.
Actually, yes, it was a choice.
Did someone offer up the idea? How did it occur to you? What happened?
I didn't want to feel the way that I felt. I didn't want to feel that way. Like, yes, something extremely horrible happened to me several times, right?
Right.
But each time was a different experience. And with, we don't need to get into the details, but I'm just saying, blanket. We'll do a blanket. You feel some certain sort of way when you go through a traumatic experience.
For sure.
And nobody wants to stay in that place. really? I mean,
I would hope not.
but there are people, right? I guess there are people who do. And maybe when I was younger, it felt more familiar and comfortable being in that place. But it wasn't until I knew the freedom of the growth and the healing that I was like, why would I want to stay in this space? But not only that, when you go through something that is so traumatic, you look at things differently.
Yeah.
You look at people differently. Your experiences you have are different.
Yes.
The way you feel inside is different. Your thoughts are different.
Yeah.
Everything changes. It changes you.
Yeah.
Depending on the trauma. But most people who go through major trauma, it changes them.
Yeah.
And I could see how it could be very easy to go dark, or at least have moments of darkness.
Yeah.
But I really believe in the power of your mind, and it really does come down to a choice.
Yes.
Like, how do I want to feel?
And it does begin with saying, I don't want to feel this way anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find my way.
Right. And we don't have the answers right away.
No. Sometimes it comes with, I don't know how I'm going to recover from this, but there is something, the universe will show up. When you shift your mindset, the world receives that and shows up differently for you.
Mm-hmm.
You'll meet someone, you'll have a conversation. There's a book that someone will mention. You had those things 3 times. Someone mentions a particular book. Then you go and you pick up the book and then you start to read.
Mm-hmm.
And these are all the growth. The growth comes from actions, doing something different, considering yourself, giving yourself grace. Sometimes even giving grace if it was like another person that hurt you or abused you. Or I see this a lot in loss also, where someone's death may have had difficult circumstances around it, of like having an acceptance, this concept of acceptance that says, this did happen. These things did happen. Like
shining light on it and acknowledging.
That can be one way, yes. Or even an internal acknowledgement. Instead of what I've seen in people is that they'll want to, shows up in like a condemning of a behavior, or it's a condemnation. I don't want to, that's a heavy word, but it's also to say that was wrong. It shouldn't have happened that way. But that sort of thinking keeps just boxed in. So it's a shift in thinking that says, and that happened, shining some light on it, seeing it in a different way, simply accepting that it did happen. And maybe even that it was a moment. So I've even heard this technique that says, if you measure the amount of time of a particular incident and you take that and reflect it as a measurement of time, 10 minutes of my life, and you're putting this in the ratio of the rest of your life, these are ways to shift your mindset, is to have those types of mental exercises where you can sit and write about it, process it, visit about the scenario with a therapist, or that kind of work. That's all in ways to achieve the growth that we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of ways. Those are some good ways. I was looking at an article, I don't know, it was a while ago, like in some magazine while I was in a waiting room, like probably some psychology magazine, because it was like a therapy thing. And they were talking about, and I don't remember the details because my memory is so good.
Concepts.
But I remember one of the articles was about post-traumatic growth. And they had like guesstimated that about half or 2/3 of people experience the growth. And that other percentage of people stay stuck
Mhm.
in the trauma. So I wonder what it is about those people and their experiences that keep them stuck. I think it's as little as a choice. But also, if you look at it on a scientific level, trauma changes and alters your brain chemistry. So there's something to be said about that. It can't just be merely a choice for them to not want to be in that space, but there's something that is preventing them from the growth, like chemically. Do you believe that?
Yes. Although I take that concept, I do have the tendency to work, in this energetic, to do them both. It's like the brain chemistry, but it's also affected, like a fragment of our soul can also get like dropped in that place
Mm-hmm.
where we can lose a piece of ourself, like our soul fragment, or that. And so our brain goes along with a lot of those things too, that says, yes, the brain chemistry changes. Some of it could be that we cannot anymore, we don't approach life. How do I want to say this? We lose a sense of innocence when a traumatic thing happens.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes people just can't find their way to doing life the same way anymore. So they're really this stuckness
Mm-hmm.
that it really did create their inability to really live fully anymore. So they live partially.
Right.
And that's really, I mean, it's such a difficult thing to watch people only like half alive because of something that happened.
Right. It I mean, we've seen that. We both have seen that in the work that we do. People will exist on that field, in that field, on that level, and you want to reach in and grab them
I know.
and save them from themselves. Obviously, we can't do that, right?
Oh.
We all each individually have these experiences for our best and highest good, in my opinion. So we can obtain that growth that we're meant to have. And it's just a belief that I have that has led me to the places that I am in with my mindset, as the trauma was my biggest teacher and my biggest growth and my greatest gratitude. Who would I be without my experiences, good, bad, or indifferent? And that's part of what my experiences have been. And they say whoever they be, everything happens for a reason. And I still have a challenging time wrapping my head around that.
It's a big concept to wrap your head around.
But it's no different. Well, maybe a little bit different than what I'm saying is things work for my best and highest good. But with that being said, everything happens for a reason, or the sayings that we chose our challenges, our lessons before we even came to this experience. Those are challenging things to put your head around. Like, why would I choose this?
Right.
Why would anyone want this for themselves?
Right.
But when you get through it and you're on the other side of it, on the growth side, then you can see the bigger picture. You can see, if I wouldn't have gone through this and had this experience, I wouldn't be doing this. For example, I now own a healing center. I help other people heal through trauma.
Yes.
Because I have walked through trauma. Before then, did I ever see myself having a healing center, helping people through trauma? No, I was not on my radar whatsoever. But I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. And I know that with my whole being, that I am meant to help people. It is my calling in life. I want no other life than to do the things that I do. On a bigger scale would be really awesome for me. I'm playing small. I have been playing small. And I know that. But I also know that that's part of my healing journey. That's part of my PTG as well is the stepping stones. And I think that it's really neat to witness like where you have been in your trauma and where you are now in relation to it, or looking back.
So with that concept, yes, exactly, to look at where you've been and where you are now, and maybe you don't even realize that you have already been growing until you look backwards and you say, oh, look at me now. I'm accomplishing these things. Or someone tells you, well, you've really come a long way from where you were.
And you're like, wow,
oh, yes.
Maybe I have.
Take a minute to take those and say, oh, I actually have already been growing from this difficult thing or the multiple difficult things that I've done. Divorces, deaths of people. So divorces can be one of those things. Divorces are very traumatic.
Very traumatic.
That is another thing that is extremely difficult, even when it's wanted and it's free. You're getting out of a relationship that is hurtful. Doesn't have to be physically, just can be hurtful just because it's not healthy. And then there's a lot of slugging through some things and then growing from that post-divorce situation. And then you're measuring yourself, and the healing takes time. It's fascinating how, divorce isn't something that's quick, but there could be an accident or an abuse situation where it could be as a short amount of time and this long period of healing. Generally, the healing takes a lot longer than the situation that you're healing from does. But measuring the growth and checking in and just saying, well, am I doing, how am I doing differently than I was? Which is a beneficial thing to do to measure the growth. I saw like when you stand up straight and you measure when your little kids are growing. Look at these meters that the wall measurement stick as they grow.
It's so good. As you talk about measuring, I'm sitting here thinking how it relates to my experiences, because I only know my own experiences.
Right.
Truly. And, you don't, I think during it, you're just you're just trying to survive.
Sure.
Right? You're just trying not to drown. You don't realize that you're growing as you're growing.
Right.
And I think rewarding yourself along the way, even if it's just taking moments to breathe yourself out of a thought that could take you downward spiraling, right? Simple little things like that. Like, they don't have to be big, huge things where you're speaking in front of 500 people about your traumatic experience.
Right,
it doesn't have to look or be a certain way. And that's what I think is really beautiful about growth, is that there are no like need to be. They get to be whatever.
Oh, you mean there's no rules? It doesn't have to follow a particular pattern or methodology or.
Right. You get to just grow. However that looks like for you.
Right.
If you got up and showered today and that is a positive for you, then celebrate that growth. That is amazing for you. If it's like you've struggled to go out into the world, to just go to the grocery store and buy something to eat, your body deserves to be nourished and you haven't taken care of yourself.
Right.
That's a great, huge step. Like, celebrate yourself.
Yeah.
I know as humans, we tend to be very hard on ourselves, that it needs to look and be a certain way. And so we tell ourselves like, I didn't really do anything today. Well, did you get up out of bed? Yeah. Well, you did something today.
That's right.
There are people who aren't getting out of bed.
Right.
And so, like, even those little things, I feel like are just steps towards bigger things, bigger experiences for you to have that growth. Every little moment counts towards your growth.
That's right. Celebrating the small victories. That's very important.
Like today, did I want to get out of bed and jump in a cold plunge? I was
am
like,
so proud of you
no.
cold plunging.
You
That
know, I
is
don't want to do
big.
it, but I've told myself and I've told my body that I'm going to do it, and I can't let me down. Have you heard this? There's this thing that I just recently came across. You know how people manifest. They manifest abundance or the life they want, or the house they want, the car they want, blah, 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 right?
Right.
I believe in manifestation to a certain degree.
Right.
I don't really fall into the secret
Right.
thing. Like, that's just not for me. That just doesn't work for me. But this is let's see, power of manifestation. It's called a power of assumption.
Oh, yeah?
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
I'll have to tell you about it more because we're going to have to take a break here in a second. but real quick, I just came across this like 2 days ago. And so I'm like, I'm just going to practice this for a couple of whenever and see how it feels.
Okay.
So the version of me that I want to be,
Yes.
or you want to be, like, say someone wants to lose, this will be a good way to explain it. Say someone wants to lose 50 pounds. So they set up this diet and this workout plan, and they have pictures on their wall of what they want to look like, right? But the whole time they're doing all these steps, they have to do this to get to this place, and they have to do that to get this place. And everything is in lack.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
When you shift from that perspective to assumption of, I'm already in that place.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
So when you go to eat, you're not counting calories going, oh, I can only eat this.
Right.
Because that's lack. You eat what that version of you that you assume you already are would eat.
I love it.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
When I first heard this, I was like, what? This is amazing. And so for me, a healthy body, a body that moves very easily, what are the things that I would do to take care of that body if I had that body already? Let's just pretend I do have that body already. And how am I taking care of that body now? That's what I'm talking about. It's it's kind of like an alter ego.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, say you were really shy to get here on Soul Wanderings and you didn't really, your voice was really quiet and you didn't really want to talk, but the version of you that you want to be does.
Have to talk
you
right
just
out loud.
pretend to be that person already, and then you're that person because you're assuming to be.
Yes, I love it.
Tell me how powerful that is.
It is powerful because that goes right with the post-traumatic growth that says we are just going to be the healed, past all of that trauma.
Right. You can't skip the steps. But you're doing the steps because you're already assuming you're that healthy version of yourself already. And how would you take care of that healthy version? Right?
So good.
It is so good. So I'm going to leave you guys with that because it's the top of the hour and we're going to take a break. Do you have any final last things to say?
No.
Okay. I hope that helped all of you. We're going to talk about
fun
dreams.
for us.
We're going to talk about dreams. We're going to open up the phone lines. Do you guys have a dream? A dream, not an experience, a dream that you have had recently and you're like, WTF, what does that mean? Call us. We have dream dictionaries and we're going to tell you what they mean. The phone number that you're going to want to call is 855-472-5483, which is 85KGRA Live. And we'll be right back. Hi, Wonders. Welcome back to Soul Wanderings, heard here on KGRA Digital Broadcasting. I am AJ.
I am Natalie.
And we are your host for Soul Wanderings. It's been a lot of fun talking about trauma.
And growth.
I know it's so funny when people are like, you have so much fun talking about trauma. I do. Let's kick trauma in the butt.
Well, it's like when I was talking about grief and the healing from grief. And it's like, yeah, I have a lot of fun doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, here we are. Second hour, though. We're going to shift gears a little bit, make this a little light and fun and whatever it gets to be. We are going to talk about dream interpretation and symbology.
Oh, it's true. But not all dreams are fun. Some of them are pretty. You know, I think in my lifetime,
some of them
I
are
learned
pretty wet,
dark and scary. And during some pretty significant times of my own personal growth, I had some not so great dreams.
I have to take off my glasses because I've decided I need my readers. I did not bring them. So we're going to have to. Here we go.
Yeah, here we are. It's like
I can't read up close anymore. These are old lady eyes.
Oh, it's the thing.
It has happened.
I remember some of my dreams being chased,
Ooh.
running and hiding, being chased. And that was a theme that was in a lot of them, and being really weak and feeling like the person that was chasing me, if they'd catch me, that I'd punch, but there was like nothing in the punch. It was
my gosh.
Not even, doesn't even connect, and just being super weak during that
I've had dreams
time.
like that in the past.
And I don't have that anymore.
Oh, good.
But that was
what did that mean for you?
Well, what I came to realize that in my waking time, I was feeling less than powerful. I just wasn't feeling empowered in my wake time. So it was coming out in my dream space.
You're feeling helpless. That's what.
Or
it would mean, yeah.
Helpless, and sometimes, but also like I just wasn't So helpless is one thing, and then there's this other little area that's like maybe I couldn't have a voice or be heard, or that there's these other aspects that I resonate with that were part of my life where I just didn't feel powerful. And it wasn't always necessarily helpless, but not powerful.
Yeah, and that would make sense. A lot of times dreams are very easy to interpret.
Yeah.
They have a meaning to them that is pretty clear, I feel like.
Well, so do you feel like that you did some studying of different symbology to get a decent read on your dreams? Because that's what I have found working with different clients, is that they don't have a big framework to relate to interpret the dreams.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people, if they haven't studied like different oracle things or symbology in general, that they don't necessarily even know how to tap into it.
I don't think any of us really do. But some of it, I think, is like common sense, right? If not, I mean, I guess everyone has different common sense.
Sure.
I would consider common sense. Like, look both ways before you cross the road. Some people don't know that.
if I can't land a punch on someone, then I'm feeling helpless. That's like that kind of thing. That's like, oh, well, that's an easy interpretation.
Right, but that's not necessarily it. It could be something much deeper than that.
Could be.
So,
and that's where I found that talking it out with someone that has a different perspective, that could do a feedback, or looking up dreams in dictionaries, even having a dream dictionary, is really surprising what different things mean.
That's true, because you're like, wait, what?
Yeah. I wouldn't have even thought about that meaning. Like teeth. I remember one time in
What, like falling out.
teeth falling out
Mhm.
or something even to do with teeth.
What's your interpretation of teeth falling out that you learned?
So,
Because I've heard it a couple of different ways.
the one thing that I've understand it, like teeth can do with ancestry
Mhm.
and roots.
Mhm.
And so it can have things to do with like ancestry, roots, or
Mhm.
deep-rooted problems
Mhm.
can be the teeth. I don't know what the Dream Dictionary says.
Miss Maria said she had a pretty crazy dream last night.
Oh,
I asked her to call in. She said, give her a second. We want to hear about her dream.
we do.
Let's hear about it. I love it when people call in and share because it just gives, like, even if like we're not on the same wavelength, it gives a different perspective. Or, you know, with all the dreams that I've been hearing about, I'm curious to what her dream is like, because she's not even anywhere near us. She's in Kentucky. So
It's nice to have different examples. So we're not just pulling from our own experience, but
yeah,
from other people.
I'm looking up teeth in this little book that I keep by me
Okay.
because I've noticed through all the books that I have, they even are not all the same interpretation.
No, it depends on
It just
different
really,
lineage or different symbology.
yeah.
Symbolism comes from a lot of different threads.
So they say dreams about teeth and losing teeth are quite common, which, you know, a lot of people do have those dreams. I've had those dreams before. Often the dream is troubling and people like freak out about it, right? It's going to give them some kind of anxiety in their dream, giving it a nightmare kind of vibe. Cuz I know when I had my teeth fall out in dreams, it's happened several times, different times of my life in different ways. And sometimes it's been like really, really messy, like bloody.
Oh.
It says the oh my gosh, it's just giving stories. I don't want to read you guys a story. I want to tell you what it means. Dreams of losing teeth are often dreams of embarrassment or potentially embarrassing situations.
Well, that was one that happened to me with my, so it's a space in my front and it was like, oh,
yeah.
That would be embarrassing to have a tooth missing in the front of my mouth.
The parallel walking experience could be summed up in the phrase losing face publicly.
Huh.
Other possible teeth loss dreams may come from physical sensations such as grinding your teeth or having particularly sensitive teeth.
Huh.
I don't know.
Yeah, that
Everything is different.
She was like, oh, teeth.
That's one book. I want to see what it looks like in this book. This book I haven't explored much, but I got this book because it will give you the symbol of the dream, the vision, and the depth psychology behind the dream.
Oh my goodness, that.
So it's a little more intense.
If we dive into the psychology of it.
Yeah. It feels like a lot, right? It feels like a lot to me. Oh, and I don't even know. This one might not even have teeth. Well, it doesn't look like it in the index.
Well,
so, and you know, this is a whole other topic and we're not going to get into tonight because we don't have that much time, but night terrors.
Oh.
Dreams, night terror dreams.
Right.
I like talking about that stuff.
I processed one with a client this week that was like a night terror. Like she was frozen and sleep paralysis, but she wasn't asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, she wasn't awake. She was paralyzed in the dream space and she wasn't awake, but she was paralyzed. And it had to do with like sort of, I don't know if it was demonic or like a spirit, this elemental kind of a thing that she said that was, She said her dream was like a movie. So then there's different aspects of dreams. Some people dream like first person. Some people watch it like a movie. Sometimes they're the person or they're multiple characters. There's multiple characters
And that
that
has
could be you.
symbology about it too.
Yeah. There's layers and layers in the dream. And sometimes dreams are just, maybe they're just entertaining. Dreams are definitely, there's a lot of course, there's, how many did we say? I probably have 6 or 7 books that are probably different than the books you have. There's so many different dream dictionaries that are out there. And famous psychology, I mean, Freud and Carl Jung did dream interpretations. So there's all these different avenues to study the dream. And through that, I'm also heard you ask many people, well, what did that mean for you?
You're saying I ask people?
You ask people
I do.
that often.
Because they're always seeking for answers outside themselves.
And that's another thing
and that's
to know.
why I like to ask people that question, because I want to know what they feel. What do you feel about that? Why are you asking me for an answer that has to do about you? Anyways, we have Maria calling. Awesome. Let's bring her online.
Let's do it.
Hi, Maria.
Hello, beautiful.
I'm so happy you called in. Let's hear about this crazy dream.
Okay, so it starts out, the sky is beautiful. I'm standing, looking, I don't know what direction, with my father. And then all of a sudden, the sky turns like purple. And then in the distance, I can see like an image of a volcano. It's not really erupting, but it's kind of boiling just a little bit. But I also see like dragons and stars and spirally things. And I remember I didn't look at my dad, but I put my arm around him and I said, oh, so this is how they told us it was going to be. So then he tells me we need to get in the car and leave. And the funniest part about this is my work bestie gets in the back seat with me and she's got her cell phone and she's like bitching and texting at the same time.
Okay, so when you were telling me that dream, my instant feel on it was heaven. Like what your version of heaven would look like. And then when you just sat there and told me, is this what it is supposed to, what did you say? Is this what it's supposed to be?
This is what they told us it would be like.
Yeah.
Right.
Right after, in my head, I'm thinking it is your version of heaven.
Huh. That's cool.
What is your interpretation with the dream?
You know, you look at so much stuff. Of course, my father is my idol. Sorry, I've been sick all week. So I'm kind of like coughing and stuff.
What a
so
bummer.
Anyway, yeah, that was my Thanksgiving. But anyways,
Bummer.
You know,
I understand that.
Yeah. My dad he's just always been the center for me. So I kind of look at that as anything that I'm going through, sickness, anything like that, he's going to be there.
And so he showed up for you in that way while you are sick, while you have been sick. But also you bring up dragons, and dragons are a symbol of protection. Do you know that?
No, I did not.
They're very symbolic for protection. And so when you have dragons come up and you're sitting there with your dad, it's no wonder that a dragon came up in your dream when you hold him on that platform while you're feeling sick. They're also good luck.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah. It's really
you
cool.
Look at dreams and you want to freak out and try to read all kinds of stuff into it. And there's all the goodness.
Yeah. I mean, I think that dreams are only messages for us. And like, for instance, I get messages from spirit in my dreams, and I literally wake up almost every hour within an hour. So if I wake up at 1:03 and then 2:33 and then 3:54, like it's always sometime within the hour. I'm not even exaggerating. I do not sleep well. And I just write stuff down. And it may be something as simple as a volcano, like you brought up a volcano. And I write it down because you don't know throughout the day what that is going to mean for you. Or if, Aunt Betty shows up in your dream and she's been passed for 10 years and you're like, why is Aunt Betty showing up in my dream? That's so rando. Then something may happen throughout your day or throughout your week that has to do with something that she experienced that you're about to experience. You just never know.
Right.
Or someone close to you. I know with volcanoes, and you said it wasn't erupting, it was just bubbling. Because volcanoes, if I remember correctly, are like a warning of something big about to happen, or something
under the surface,
like a warning, that something is about to happen. But where it was just bubbling and not erupting, maybe it could have even been the sickness that you're having, that it's not going to get worse than it already is, if that makes sense. And also, volcanoes are very powerful and hold a lot of strength and a lot of energy. So you could also look at it on the flip side of that and see that you're being very strong and resilient and powerful in your experience right now.
And volcanoes also can represent like new growth, because as they lay down lava, it's new land, new territory.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
It's like a birthing kind of a process.
Think of that either.
Do you have volcano in your book, Natalie?
I was looking for
I don't have them in my books. I looked while you were talking.
Held emotions or hurt. If erupting, emotional release. Possibly hurts from many years will surface, and if allowed, express in a healing way. That's what it says for volcanoes.
Interesting.
It kind of makes sense. In the past, by other people that know way much more than I do, I've been told that I have the capability of being a healer.
I believe that about you.
But do you believe that?
Me? Oh, God, no.
She doesn't. People will tell you, and you won't stay told.
Yeah, no, I'll just sit out here on the balcony and look at the full moon. So,
Yeah. There is an energy about you that is very healing. And even if you don't see it, I'm sure you've had experiences in your life where you have been that healer for someone. And I wouldn't disregard that.
Right.
I hope I have. I hope I've helped more than I've hurt. So
I without a doubt believe that you have, Maria. And you said purple sky too,
yes,
didn't you?
Purple sky.
Because when I think of purple sky, I think of the stone tanzanite. It's one of my favorite stones. When the blue hits, like the purple of the lining right above the Earth's core, yes. that beautiful purple.
Yes.
And so that's always stuck with me because I love that color. I think it's just, and I love that stone. But with the purple sky in a dream, it's like tenderness and I want to say love, but it is a tenderness energy.
That would be.
And I love that your dad was with you, and that is the meaning of the violet purple sky.
Plus, isn't So purple is the crown chakra, and that would be heaven.
Also higher
Oh.
consciousness.
Uh-oh. Y'all
Violet
are getting
is
deep. Let's go on
we
down this
do we
rabbit
could do
hole.
this all night. We're like, and this, and what about this?
But
And
it's
let's
all
do
this
that.
different symbology. So it's all this representation. What are these different aspects that purple is that? Purple is the color of royalty.
Mhm.
There's a lot. What is tanzanite? What's the specific? The qualities of tanzanite? What does that bring?
Like metaphysically,
Yeah.
it is a higher consciousness stone.
Oh.
And healing and growth, like deep healing and growth, spiritual growth.
Now that's the volcano, and then the
Mhm.
healing color of purple, higher consciousness. Maybe
Mhm.
you're getting called out a little, Maria.
Well, okay, so y'all said all this, and I get to thinking about many years ago, there was a volcano that erupted, and it was big enough that it disturbed the earth. And we had the most beautiful purple sunsets that I have ever seen in my life, because that only happens when a volcano erupts.
Science,
Yeah.
the chemicals. I love it.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that rabbit hole is just way too deep for me. But anyway.
Yeah, but the purple color is like your higher consciousness, your higher power.
Okay, yep, that makes sense. You all are so wonderful. Thank you so
I'm
much
so
for
glad that
helping me
you
work through
called
that.
in.
You're welcome. That's fun.
Oh, and Chanel just pointed out our show logo has a purple sky.
Oh, it's true.
true.
Yes, it does.
It's true, and that
And-
was very intentional, Chanel. I designed that
And my
with
favorite
our guy.
music ever. So thank you very much.
You're so welcome. I'm glad we kept it. Thank you so much
All
for
right.
calling in. I hope you get feeling better.
Thank you. I will.
Okay, dear. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I adore that woman.
Oh,
Yep. Her and I are going to have margaritas together one day. Mark my words.
Marita Gritas.
Maria margaritas. Maritas. There we go.
So there is a lot of different layers to dreams, different interpretations.
And the thing is we just don't know.
No.
Like we never have any of the answers. None of us do, right? But it's fun to be like, but what if it was this?
Right. So let's talk about the part of the dream space. This is my understanding about the dream space, that the dream space is a space where we can let go of the limitations of our waking world and play out without like the physics and different things in the dream space. There's not the same sort of limitations. So one of the things I know, like in conversations with other people, I would say like play with the dream, like empower yourself. Have you ever flown? Do you remember? Have you had flying dreams? I haven't had a flying dream for a while, but I've had flying dreams before where I can fly in my dreams.
I want to say yet. So I astral travel.
Okay.
We know, like I come back in the day. We all
Yes,
know that I'm
yes.
like, okay, I left
I
part
was
of
somewhere.
myself in the ethers somewhere last night. I think
Yes.
today was one of those days. I see myself like moving in sort of a flying way, but I'm not flying.
Okay.
So are you talking about like in a plane, or your body is like,
No, my body would fly
"Woo."
through the air. I have my own way of like flying.
Oh,
Like
got
I can fly through the air. And I was talking with years ago, I was talking with someone, and he said, well, where does your propulsion come from? And I thought that was a fascinating question.
I know, do your feet just go blah, blah, blah. How did
Well,
that go?
sometimes I was sitting. It wasn't necessarily like a Superman sort of flying.
But flying obviously means freedom.
Oh, yeah. So that would be.
So you're either feeling trapped, or you're wanting to be free, or you're wanting to feel freedom, or
I am feeling freedom, or I could have my ability to lift up and beyond and move beyond limitations, can move I could
Yeah,
see
there's nothing you can't do in life. You have the ability to do it all. You have that freedom to just
can go above
mm-hmm,
and beyond.
mm-hmm.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, that was my flying dreams, not flying in a plane or
Like your
in a
feet literally
vehicle.
turn into propellers and they're like I don't know why I think the things I think.
It's cute.
Adorable.
Adorable.
What about drowning? Do you know much about drowning? Because I know people have drowning dreams. Do you ever have drowning dreams?
No.
Or what about the ones where you're
think.
like asleep and then all of a sudden you're falling and you jerk yourself awake
Right.
because you're falling? Do you ever have those?
I've had those before.
What do you think that is?
I don't know. Sometimes it's like falling into sleep. You're falling. I do find that a lot of times the dream reflects something that is going on in my personal world. So I would feel that would be particular to other people too.
Mm-hmm.
That it can be representative of an aspect that's a struggle or an overcoming or a message to be sent that has to do with that you're dealing with in your actual life, but it comes out in the dream and it doesn't come out as literal. Dreams are so often just not literal.
Mm-hmm.
It's this creative space. So to interpret them is to use a creative mind to interpret them instead of a, like, say, logical mind.
So the falling dream, though, is about losing control in your life. That's the meaning of it.
That's what it says? Like, that's the meaning of losing
I'll
control?
look in the book. I'm just going off of what I remember, but it's like you're losing control in life. Like there are things that are out of your control, or you have some kind of like anxiety or, something that's not in your control.
Then I'll just learn to fly.
This one. Yeah. I mean, I don't
standing on a ledge and in waking life, need to make a decision on the edge.
Yeah.
Let's
see. In this index, falling is in here. It's not even in here. What kind of crap books did I bring to the show tonight? I'm not getting anything from any of it. Forget this.
Our ad-libbing just is like, well, we were ad-libbing and okay, so we screen it next time or not.
So I've had many dreams of drowning, and I've had so many dreams about drowning that I have wondered and even have done what research I could do about past life stuff,
drowning,
because the dreams are almost always the same. So that's what's interesting also is when you have dreams, like the meaning of the dreams, the symbology behind the dream, or whatever there is, just like we do with Maria. There's a volcano, there's a dragon, there's her dad, there's the purple sky, all those things, right? But in these drowning dreams, I know the symbology behind the drowning, like in dreams, is like fear of losing yourself. Like being out of control, being overwhelmed.
In an ocean and so overwhelmed by the water.
Just think about that. That's one of the common sense ones that I think that drowning would be, is like everything is just too much. You can't. It feels hopeless. That's
what this says. It says drowning depicts a feeling of being overwhelmed by difficult emotions or anxiety. Dreamt about someone else may occasionally show your apprehension about their health or well-being, having the suggestion of death or breakdown. Now, so fall or falling, loss of confidence, threat to unusual source of security, such as relationships, source of money, social image, such as a loss of face, or sustaining belief, tensions, loss of social grace, moral failure.
Interesting. Okay. So those are really common things that people dream about. You know what I always used to dream about? Snakes.
Snakes.
And I found out a snake is one of my totem animals.
Oh.
But also it has so much symbology in different
With snakes.
So like it means something different with the Native Americans. It means something different with Hinduism. It means something different in whatever culture. Snake symbology means so many different things. But you think of snakes, you think of shedding skin, right? They're
Right.
constantly shedding skin. So maybe
Right.
you have some kind of change coming up and you're going to be
Like growth and expansion.
Exactly. So I've looked at it that way. I've read some interpretations on it that way. It could also mean like you're afraid of change. Like you're fearing something that's coming up for you, or someone you're working with or dealing with, like some kind of fear. So I'm terrified of snakes. I didn't used to be. I used to play with snakes all the time. My dad had snakes for pets, and I'd go in the garden and play with the garter snakes, like water snakes. Like they did not bother me at all.
But now they do.
Well, there's a couple of reasons they do, but yes, I don't want to be around them. However, when they show up in dreams or like in readings or in any kind of symbology for me, I really appreciate them and I like what they mean. I just don't want to physically hold one.
Well, you don't have to, because they'll show up in your dreams so they don't freak you out in the waking world. The snakes are flexible. They have this ability to articulate and they move in such a different way. Then could be like maybe a message to be more fluid or flexible. Then it's like a brainstorming thing where you're like, what could this one word mean? Which really can be a stretch for a lot of people.
I agree.
Trying to be, well, we're not trying to be, but being creative and looking at it in a lot. That's why I like the dictionaries, because I learn and grow by looking them up.
But okay, so let's just put this on, like, why do we put so much emphasis on the meaning of dreams? And what are dreams exactly? Are they messages? Are they messages from like our people in whatever realm? Are they different lifetimes that we're experiencing in other dimensions? Like, what do you think dreams really are?
Well, I think that there are a myriad of things. I don't think they're just one thing. So I've had dreams where I feel like they're messages. I've had dreams where I feel like they're working out something that I haven't quite figured out in my waking world. So the dream space is helping me through it. I also feel like many of my dreams, I'm getting instructions and downloads and like being educated, like getting information in my dream space, that because it feels like I'm going to school or a connection with other people. That's been something that's been in my dreams lately, are people that aren't necessarily in my life now, but are visiting me in the dream space. They're alive.
You just said that. That's
Yeah.
all my dreams have been.
These people aren't dead. They're alive people, but they're like people that have been important people in my life, but they're just not in my life currently. Like I don't see them very often.
Okay, and then what the heck does that mean?
I don't even know.
I was trying to explain this dream to my partner the other day because there were so many people in this particular dream, including you. There was him, my kids, my son, his wife, and my grandbaby. Some cousins, some friends, some old coworkers, some relatives that I haven't seen in who knows how long. Like just randomness all over the place. And all the things that we were doing, how we're here 1 minute and here the next minute, and we're doing this, and we're doing that. And I'm just like, but why? There was didn't feel like there was any purpose to the dream. And why were all these people in my dream? And it wasn't just that dream. Like I've had several dreams with different people, some with the same people. And it's just like a story that's like playing out, but I can't remember the details when I wake up. I remember parts of it. And I remember in the dream, it's usually pretty exciting or intense, or there's a lot going on. But when I wake up, I'm just like, okay, now wait, what? And I can't piece it together. And then when I start sharing it and talking about it, I'm like, oh, well, I guess it really wasn't that big of a dream because it doesn't feel exciting anymore. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. While I have had a lot of vivid dreams, they're not sticking. They're not necessarily as memorable like with Maria was be able to articulate exactly what all these aspects of the dream were. I haven't necessarily little flashes of like a scene of the dream, but not the whole dream per se. And isn't there aspects of saying dreams happen if we're not dreaming, we're not sleeping deep enough? Maybe it's what you ate when you went to sleep.
and
maybe it's just a chemical thing and they don't mean anything. And it is said that really anything just has the meaning that we assign it. So they don't mean anything, but except for the meaning that we assign it.
Right.
However,
just like with anything else,
there are dreams that seem to have just a little more substance than other times. And it's like what I feel. They're messages. Oftentimes, a dream definitely can be a message.
Yeah, definitely. There's a question in the chat room. Is the interpretation of dreams the same for men and women? And this is one of the questions I had in one of my groups that I was in when I was doing the dream interpretation stuff. And I don't know if I can answer that completely, but I do remember them saying that women remember their dreams more than men do. And their dreams seem to be more vivid because they're remembering them, or they're remembering them because they were more vivid. I'm not sure. And not so much for men. Like men were having more nightmares and women were having more dreams. So as far as the interpretation goes, I'm not sure. Do you have an answer on that?
I would say that they would have differences.
Well, yeah.
There's a lot to be understood, and there's a lot of language about gender these days, but the reality is that men and women do have a lot of differences. So the symbology that would be towards masculine is going to be different aspects than a feminine symbology. So I would say that there's just going to be different roads that the dreams probably will take just because the differences between men and women. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
But I think because dreams are interpreted through symbolism.
I am going to Google something tonight. Go ahead. You do that. I'm going to Google.
These different dream dictionaries and the tools that are used to interpret dreams do come from long lines of symbols and symbology that often go back centuries. And so I think the tools for interpretation may be the same, but the aspects of dreaming for men and women, like you had mentioned, are going to be different. And they're going to be different for different people for sure too, and how whatever goes into that person's psyche and their life and their belief structure.
Mhm.
Are you finding anything on the Google?
Mhm. Nothing that we haven't already said, honestly. I mean, men and women, they're saying men and women do dream. This is in Psychology Today. Men and women do dream differently. Women tend to recall their dreams more often than men, and women tend to report more frequent and more intense nightmares than men. Men dream more often about other men rather than women, whereas women dream equally often about men and women. For example, 67% of characters in men's dreams are often men, whereas 48% of characters in women's dreams are often other women. Men tend to dream about aggressive encounters with other men, typically strangers, while women tend to dream about interactions with familiar others that take place in familiar surroundings. I wonder how they did this study.
It's always a good question.
How many people? What did you ask them? Blah, 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 blah.
How many people filled out the survey and what were the questions on the survey?
Oh, and then they go into sexual dreams, which is a whole other thing because that could mean all kinds of stuff.
It's true.
Because sexual psychology is a whole other deal,
It's
especially when it comes to dreams.
Oh yeah,
That's interesting.
Didn't even. I remember I had a period of time too where I was like naked in dreams, and it wasn't sexual at all, but there was this nakedness, and I haven't had those for a while. There were different themes that must have been what I was going through in life.
I'm
Themes for when I was the aspects going through.
Yeah.
Oh, look, changing dreams. Oh, we haven't talked about lucid dreaming, the ability to actually change the dream as it's going on.
Oh.
Have you done that?
So I've tried to do that.
Okay.
So let's talk about drugs. No, let's not. I'm kidding.
Sure, why not?
I kid. No, but with like Blue Lotus, right? So Blue Lotus is a plant. It's a flower. It's an herb, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
But it does assist in lucid dreaming.
Okay.
And so I played around with some Blue Lotus tinctures before, just kind of like because I shouldn't say I astral travel not by choice. I know I'm off doing something somewhere else, not because I necessarily want to, but that's a whole other situation. Everyone's going to think I'm just plain wackadoo. I don't even understand it myself. Anyway, I love that we have the ability to go in and out of this reality, this consciousness.
Right.
And you can do it through breathing. You can do it through deep meditation. You can do it through substance. Like I'm not one to I don't want to go do DMT or ayahuasca. Or I'm not interested in doing any of that kind of stuff. But
right.
I love my herbs and I do play around with them. I do see how they work. And Blue Lotus is one of the things that you can use for lucid dreaming.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. And so as far as manipulating the dream, there have been things that I have felt that I have shifted that I can recall, but also I've tended to stay away from it because I'm not sure what dreams are. I'm not sure what energy we're playing with in that dreamland. Is it another version of me in another dimension? Am I altering the future of a different version of me? Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Just like if you were time traveling.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of the same thing. And so I haven't really gone into it, but there have been moments where I can feel the shift when I have taken the tincture.
Oh, it's fascinating.
All natural.
All natural. Looks like we have Bobby on line one.
Yes, let's bring him on, Bobby.
Yes, good morning. Good evening, ladies. How you all doing today?
Good. How are you, Bobby?
Yes. So there once was a dream that actually became a realization of my mother's death.
Oh, wow.
And wow. So so there was a kitten by the pool that people would just splash water all over the kitten trying to get away. And by the time it came to me, it had a final splash, and then the kitten died of drowning. And it fully represented that the kitten was actually my mother, and the water splashing at the kitten was liver cancer that she died of. So for each splash becomes one of her falls that she had to take. And by the time it came to me, we couldn't even pick her up. And as depicted in the dream, as the kitten died, my mother died. And my mother died of stage 4 liver cancer. And it was like probably the only time that dream would later became a reality. And I kind of recognize it today.
Wow.
So
That's
yeah.
something. I mean, I've heard of people having dreams and then it really manifesting. I mean, that has happened for me, but not anything like that. That's incredible.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah. So I just felt like I need to call in before you close out for the evening. And so I just want to say great show. Janelle, you're an excellent producer, and I'll see you in the next round.
Thank you for calling in and sharing that with us, Bobby. That was awesome of you. And thank you for supporting the show and the station.
Yes, love you.
Thanks, Bobby. Loves back. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dreams are wild. And this is the thing that I struggle with dreams, because I feel like they aren't always dreams. Sometimes they're messages. Sometimes they're other dimensional experiences. So, like we call them dreams, right? We bubble them all up into the same category.
Right.
But I really feel like they're different, like different things are happening.
They definitely have a whole level of mystery. And some of them come out like, why would I dream? Have you had people, why would I dream that? Like, remember this one that
there are some things I'm like, oh my gosh. Sorry, go ahead.
Where they're just really wild. They don't even line up with what I would do in a real life situation. But I hadn't really ever considered,
like, walk around naked, Natalie.
Right. That's
that's nothing you would do.
That's
something I would do.
Yes, it was just it's these strange things. I hadn't really considered, though, being I just figured there's some dreams that I've had that I'm like, oh, I don't like the feel of that dream. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna make different decisions than as when it was me going through a particular dream, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna run that different.
See, that's interesting to me. I don't really try. I don't think I've ever done that. I've gotten out of dreams though. I'm like, yeah, nope, not doing this tonight. Oh, but what about the dreams where you wake up and you get out of it and you fall back asleep and you starts right where you left off?
That is pretty wild.
Is it meant to happen? Are you meant to have that dream or that experience in that other reality that you're in?
Most of the time we're not really like choosing whatever's happening anyway.
It's all
we're
very
not,
unconscious.
Like, choosing the dream, and it's like, okay, I'm going to lay there and go to sleep, and I'm going to dream this particular thing. Most often these dreams are coming out of somewhere. And it's not really something conscious. Definitely dreams come from an inner unconscious place, another dimension, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Let's take one more call. Longtime listener, Ronald. Ronald, we just have about 2 minutes.
All right, I'll make it fast.
Let's hear all
Right.
about it.
Friday, I actually discussed this sort of same thing about our dreams, memories or messages. And those are the two things I think dreams are, because we can create a dream from what we're watching on TV, and that's
Sure.
a memory, you know. And now we can have a message from who knows where, you know, it could be God, could be the Holy Spirit, could be an alien, whoever, and we can receive a message and we interpret it as a dream. We can have a dream on one word or one color that we see, something that looks like someone we know. We can form the whole dream out of that one thing. That's what's amazing. Now, I had a dream about a watershed and deer, and then the deer were talking. Have any of you had talking animals? And they thought I was dinner, though. They smelled food. They said, "Oh,
Oh dear.
that smells good for dinner." And I had to get inside the watershed, though, which the door was open when I got in there. I closed the door. There were also some other people, though, and I seen them ahead, and they ran back and climbed up on the tree in front of the shed. I heard them talking about who I was. I didn't know who they were. And then all of a sudden, a police officer comes in, and of course, I get in trouble for being in the building. You know, it's like at a park. The building was red. The roof was gray. I don't know what that means. Animals were talking. People were following me, or I was following them. I'm not sure what. We all wound up in the watershed talking to the police officer about why we were there.
Well,
You know,
that has a lot of stuff going on.
I was getting out of the way of the running deer because they were all running past me, and I was hiding behind the shed so they wouldn't smash me, you know, with the stampede.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got inside, and then I went to sleep. By the time I woke up, a police officer standing there asking me what I'm doing inside the building. I don't know. I was outside, and I'm here.
I love that. I think that is so cool. I don't know about, like, we definitely don't have a lot of time to dissect your dream and break it up into categories, but I know when it comes to animals and animals talking to you, a lot of times that's like your own inner wisdom. And also can be messages from your animal's spirit guides. So
we will talk more about this.
Yeah, if you know what they were saying and they had a message for you, I would take note on that. But also when you have animals talking, it's like it's your own inner guidance system, your own intuition.
Okay, so that's a good thing then. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would take it as a good thing.
Well, thank you very much. I'm sorry I got late here to the show.
No, you're good.
Other things going on.
Thank you so much for checking
here.
in and giving us a call and sharing your experience with us. We appreciate it.
And you're welcome. And I'll share more about some dream stuff with you, AJ, and we'll talk about it and maybe figure out some answers.
That'd be awesome. Love it.
All right, good deal. All right, you have a good night.
You too.
And thank you again for the open lines. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone that's involved with this call. All right.
You're welcome.
Bye, Ronald. Oh my goodness. I love that you guys called in. Thank you so much.
That was fun.
Yeah. I love when we open the phone lines and our wanderers who are with us almost every week participate. It's really awesome. So thank you to all of you opening up and calling in and sharing with us. That's really fantastic. So, you know, sporadically, Natalie and I have shows where we don't have guests and we do open up the phone lines, or we'll have topics of conversation, this, that, or the other. If there's a specific topic that you guys want us to talk about, email us at connect@soulwanderings.com. That way we'll just start a list of topics. And if by the pure chance that we don't receive a guest for the week and we hold the show, then we'll be able to tap into that list and talk about a topic that you would like us to talk about. Again, that's connect@soulwanderings.com. You can also visit soulwanderings.com.
Find
And-
out about us.
Yeah, learn about us, share with your friends. If you guys will go ahead and give the platform that you're on, Facebook or Rumble, a thumbs up. You've done so much commenting. Love it. Follow Soul Wanderings on social media, on Facebook and Instagram, Soul Wanderings 111. And it just really helps us. I think that it is really cool how many people we have listening and how many we have participating. But we would love to share with more. So if you feel so inclined, thank you. Natalie, anything else
No,
tonight?
I think that was a fun wandering through dreams and
It went by so
growth.
fast.
And I know, I can't believe it's all over now. What? That's
It's all over, you guys. So next week we'll have a brand new guest. I wish I remembered what it is, but it's going to be good, brand new.
Stay tuned.
I know her name's Nicole.
Is that?
So much on my plate. All right, we got to cut. So we'll talk to you guys next week. Until then, be good to yourself and be good to each other. Bye for now.
Have a good one.